Old Atlanta.
Welcome back to Atlanta Motors.
It is not friendly with the tires.
For tonight's Noble Racing Series, race number 4 from Atlanta Motor Speedway. On the pole position with a lap time of 30.947 seconds, it is the 3 of Brian McCann. Outside front row, missed it by 38 thousandths of a second. C83 of Brandon Mefford.
Stage at 40.
Starting in the third spot, the 80 of Drew Prowl. Right side of Prowl is going to be the 33 of Will Hewitt. Starting fifth, Chris Goins in the 41. Sixth goes to Michael Tucker in the 39. Keaton Burnett back.
All right, I do have my button clutch on.
26 rolls from 7th. Neil Quick out of the IROC series will start 8th. Ninth starter is going to be Chris Mefford. 10th goes to Jesse Redding. Matt Sisler starting from the 11th spot. Alan DeFries, the SCAR veteran, now no bull racer, going to start in the 12th position.
Give him 2.
Starting in the 13th position, Joe Tucker. Lucky 13 tonight in the number 13. Starts 13. Vincent Short, the number 15, is going to start 14th. Almost had 2 there. Shane Haas, the 23rd, is going to start 15th. 16th starters, Ken Couch. 17th goes to Chris Elliott. Eddie Rose will start from the 8th
I don't wreck people.
position. Tim Stubblefield, Doug Wysocki, 19th and 20th.
I'm kidding. I might wreck you tonight.
From 21st and 22nd position, respectively. Starting grid here from Atlanta Motor Speedway as the field begins to roll off the starting grid. One lap should be green flag racing the next time.
Get rid of me, can you go deep?
So Brandon's the one paying Aaron. Now that I said I don't wreck people, I probably will end up wrecking somebody.
To the green flag here. Again, they've been running this Gen 4 Cup car better part of 3 quarters of their season. They've got plenty of experience, a bit of a leg up on some of the drivers that may be just dipping their toes into the Gen 4 pool. Brian McCann, Brandon Mefford.
Look at him. Tires spin all the way through third.
Pace Chuck about to pull down to pit lane. Green flag waves, we're racing. Oh, and a wheel spin from the 80 of Drew Prowl. He's going to lose a bunch of spots right on the start. Prowl goes from the 2nd row back to 14th. Could be worse here. Just a bad start for the 80 of Drew Prowl, spinning the back tires, even on the fresh rubber. Meanwhile, back out front, Brian McCann, 10ths of a second ahead of the 83 thus far. Get on to turn number 4, back to the stock leg here at start-finish. Starting to close the gap already here as we work lap 2 into turn number 3. It's about 1/10 and a half, if even that much, between the top 2. Man, just barely. Almost got the wall. This is the battle for the top spot. Brian McCann with the race lead. It's a continuing trend as of late. Mefford peeking out the right side here. Needs to find more room if he's going to try and make the pass on the high side. Mefford running a little bit higher up the racetrack compared to Brian McCann. Dives it down to the bottom. Thought he was going to have a run, but it appeared the car loosened up on corner exit. Didn't cost him too much ground as he's still within 1/10 of a second off the back bumper of Brian McCann through 3 and 4.
Hell, you don't even have to move the steering wheel hardly to run this track.
comes back up the racetrack, just barely missing the wall again.
It is literally all throttle.
Mefford trying to keep some air on the nose of his machine. Again, aerodynamically very sensitive these Gen 4 cars are. Get tucked in behind a lead vehicle here, and you're going to have a lot of aero push. Now, to talk about aero push, again, many of you are no stranger to auto racing and now.
Did I hit the wall or did he?
To any newbies,
I think he did.
Out there, aero push, effectively, you need air to hit the nose or even the back, but in this case, we're talking about the front end. You need air to push down on the front bodywork of the race car to provide downforce, which allows the car to turn a little better at speed. Now, the problem is you put a car that's the same design, so to speak, same shape and everything, right out in front of you, a tenth and a half in front of you, it puts a big hole in that air. Basically, the car in front gets to utilize all the air on the nose of his machine, while the car behind doesn't have as much to work with. So that in turn means less front downforce. Less front downforce means the car doesn't want to turn, i.e. push or tight, and that's what happens. You see Brandon Mefford might be trying to get out of that dirty air to get some air on the nose of his machine so it can continue to turn. 7 laps in, this battle has not cooled off the slightest. Meanwhile, Chris Goins, Matt Sisler, Will Hewitt rounding out the top 5. Neil Quick's up a couple of positions in P6. Big mover so far, though, is Matt Sisler in that 4th spot.
Clear low,
Clear
low.
That got me a little loose. Hope you don't think I was cut down on.
We do have a stage break coming at lap 40. Effort still right on the back bumper of Ryan McCann. Effort making a look to the inside here. Ken went way up the racetrack. Started turn 2, now down the back straightaway. And has stretched it out just a bit now. 3.5 tenths back to second place. The battle starting to cool off between these two. Meanwhile, battle with Matt Sisler and Will Hewitt. Sisler on the bottom. Top. Neil Quick might follow the 33 on through. Will Hewitt takes over the 4th spot. Matt Sisler now 5th, but Neil Quick challenging the number 93 Celsius Kia out of turn 4.
Oh, Brandon, hold on to it. He almost lost it. He looked like he was going to take a trip to the infield care center.
Real quick, now into the 5th spot. Matt Sisler now slipping a couple of positions back to P6. Again, started 11th. He made a very big drive to the front. Got up into the top 4 in the first 7 or 8 laps.
Ooh. Kicked out on me that time. Lap 13, yep, that's about when it happens.
Fresh tires, but again, this place, not one that rewards aggression as far as taking care of your stuff. I think that's already starting to show itself as Sisler is starting to slip back.
We have entered the stage of you can either keep it straight or not.
It's all attributed to burning up the tires.
And then around lap 25-ish,
really the first.
it's hard to keep straight on a trial.
Tires is much going to determine how cooperative they're going to be for you later on in the run. You abuse them early, you're going to pay for the long term. .23 real loose out of 2, gathers it up down the backstretch. That's Shane Haas. Getting to watch the battle here with Ken Couch and Doug Wysocki. Haas up top of the racetrack. Now that number 23, that was a pass 4 position. He had some trouble out of turn 2 just a lap ago.
This track's going to be horrendous at the end when it gets starts getting tighter.
Well, and it has allowed Ken Couch to put some distance between himself and the 34, though, so that's a welcome sight for the 08. Wiggle out of the 23 once again. That's Shane Haas, just having some handling struggles on that number 23 machine, trying to keep it straight. While Brian McCann continues to extend his race lead over Mefford. It's a 2.5 now. 17 laps in here from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Again, the stage break coming at lap 40 as Mark Truxell just drives it through the grass there. I don't know what the situation there was, but it happened quickly. Might have been having a Dale Earnhardt flashback. I don't know. We're not at Charlotte, though, so who knows? Either way, no harm, no foul, no damage to the 5 as he continues on riding in the 16th position. He gets started 21st here tonight.
Tight end loose off.
Truxell closing it.
Worst kind of car to drive, in my opinion.
To make the move to make this position his. Haas has been struggling, at least what we've seen out of turn number 2. The handle possibly going away already here on the number 23 machine. You have an incident, and it very well could have just speeded up those rear tires. Then the connection issues coming into play. That's certainly not helpful either. Car loose down into turn number 3. Didn't catch who that may have been.
How's nobody wrecked? No cautions yet. 21 laps.
Green flag here tonight. He had some connection issues to start his evening.
Nobody's experienced the lap 25-30 front stretch here.
88 of it.
We might see a caution.
Tell you, it sounds like Eddie might not be in the throttle all the way. He's going to have to be careful. He's going to go a lap down here very soon at that pace. Last lap for Eddie Rose at 33.76. The leader's running about 7/10 faster than that. Won't be long before Brian McCann.
Neil's running me down.
Neck of the 88.
He's got big tire save mode engaged. Me and Brandon was racing off the go. He might be able to run me down 15 laps.
Brandon Mefford still in.
We'll see how much better he gets.
4 seconds behind Brian McCann. Neil Quick, though, His slow
I still got a little bit more in it.
quietly made his way towards the front. Running in third as Chris Goins is in fourth. You just saw him have a little bit of a moment there in the dog leg.
I ain't really pushed it very hard yet.
Machine getting a little tail happy. Gathered it back up, and it looks like Will Hewitt is starting.
I pushed it a little bit more that lap just to see what I got. It's about a 10th. I don't want to heat the tires up.
Faster that last time by. Out 2/10 faster.
Uh-oh. I kicked it too much mid-turn. They don't like that.
Goins still hanging on to the fourth spot. Back on Vincent Short. Running in behind Michael Tucker. Right on board with Vince. Mike Fahey in the stream chat says, missing you guys tonight. Had some work troubles. See you next week. Great, Mike. Sorry you couldn't be here. Mike's always good for at least one caution.
Nobody's wrecked yet. It's impressive.
Just saying, 'cause he's not here. Short still running in the 9th position behind the 39 of Michael Tucker. We'll see if he starts to reduce that gap. Might put on some pressure here. He's taking a look to.
Where did Brandon go?
Alongside into turn number 3. Doesn't slide up the track too much. Really no more than the 39 did, but Vincent put the power down a little bit earlier than Tucker. Out of turn 4, Vincent Short takes the 8th position away.
Oh, Brandon's in second. I missed his name. Or was he blinked out? So Brandon's dropping back. Neil's going to pass him.
Now DeFries and Jesse Redding going at it here. DeFries in the 10th spot. Redding making a move to the bottom as DeFries goes way up the racetrack. This is a points-paying position here as we approach the stage here in about 12 laps. Jesse Redding does take it away from DeFries.
Got one inside. Clear low, clear low.
The top 5, Chris Goins in the 4th spot. Head of the 33 of Will Hewitt. Doug Wysocki now back in the 15th position.
Well, heck, I'm at lap 30. I'm still wide open in the tri-oval. What's going on?
The field was about the 3rd position, I believe it was, if I remember correctly, on that opening lap. In fact, let's go back to it. Coming to the green flag, watch the 80 machine of Drew Prowl. Spins the tires, almost loses it, puts it in the grass. Does a good job getting out of the way of traffic, but lost a bunch of positions on that initial start. Prowl still running back in 16th. Lots of work to do. Watching this fight, though, Brown's going to lose another spot here to Chris Elliott. Not careful. Elliott goes on by, and he is clear out of turn 4.
Do they have winner penalties in this? Is that what Brandon was asking? When do I get an EOL?
31 laps in, Eddie broke.
I thought it was only EOLs for people who wreck.
Here. About 9 laps.
Maybe I do. I don't know.
Stage break. Drew Brown gets into the fence here, getting into turn 3.
Did I win last week?
Saki way up the racetrack. He might have got a piece of the wall, too. It looks like he did. A little bit off pace is the 34 out of turn 4. 22 Matt Kopp's going to close in as well. Eddie Rose making his pit stop very early, 16.9.
On the pre-race announcements, my name wasn't listed, so it must be good.
Now remember, Eddie was about a
There's Eddie again. Oh, he pitted.
pit stop, so effectively he's 2 laps down now.
It's wanting to get a little squirrely in the trial now.
In short, Joe Tucker, Matt Sisler. This is about to be a 3-car battle as we close in on the stage. Vince might have been saving his stuff here because all of a sudden he's picked up the pace and he's starting to march forward. Points do matter. He's up in the 8th position. Sure, he'd love to pick up a couple of more here, take them away from Joe Tucker and Matt Sisler. Remains to be seen. Looks like Tucker's trying to put the pressure on Sisler as well, but
wow,
he's careful. He can probably take advantage here.
that's as close as you can get to the wall without hitting it. I did not mean to get that close.
Ooh, Tucker slides up a bit, stays off the door of the 93. Keeps the low line open for Vincent Short. Out of turn number 2. It's actually going to slow the momentum of the 15. Short now over the back bumper. Thought about going up the middle here. He's just scrubbing speed down into turn 3. Gets alongside Matt Sisler. Tucker takes the spot from the 93. We've got about 4 laps to go to end the stage. Short may take the spot from Sisler as well. Have to finish that pass up quickly here if he's going to make a challenge to get by Joe Tucker into the 6th position.
Yeah,
Short gets
starting to want to step out in the tribal now.
some time here. He might be able to reel in Joe Tucker.
Ooh. Oopsie.
See it again. Vincent Short was almost alongside there in the exit of the dog leg. Now he is alongside Joe Tucker through turns 1 and 2.
It's quite the handful.
Ducks back in behind the 13. Short a little loose through the dog leg. You saw the car step out, keeps his foot into it. 2 laps to end the stage.
Hopefully it'll buff out.
Tucker up the racetrack. Short still down the bottom.
I was just going to stay behind him so he don't go let down, but man,
Clear
he's
low, clear
going
low.
slow. Real slow. I'm going to stay behind Eddie, though. When do they throw the caution?
Still the battle continues for this 6th position. Vincent Short wants around Tucker in the worst kind of
All right,
way.
man, caution is out. Caution
Curious
is
to
out.
see if
Line
he's going to
up
take
single
tires
file.
on this
Zero
stop or
to
not, because he's
Extra
sure beating the heck out of him right now.
car.
Meanwhile, we are on lap 40. Ryan McCann in good position to take another stage win here in the Noble Racing Series.
Good run, Vince. Good run.
Eddie Rose just up ahead, in danger of going down another lap. I think he'll be okay for this one. The caution's about to come out.
Man, you caught me like I was standing still. Good job, you two. That was fun.
And lap 41 goes up, so that should end the stage.
Catch the A car.
Caution is out. It's going to signify the end of stage 1.
What's my guess on tires?
Sorry for you fighting you a
Top
little
10,
hard
Brian
there, Joe. I
McCann,
knew my
Brandon
tires
Mefford,
were
Neil Quick,
pretty
Chris
much
Goins,
shot.
Will
I was
Hewitt,
trying to make it difficult
Vincent
for you.
Short,
You
Joe
just tried to
Tucker.
get
Looks like
by.
Short got Joe right at the
You
finish
know,
of the stage. 8th was Matt Sisler.
I'm gonna go with
Michael Tucker, Chris Mefford finishing 10th.
I expected the fight, brother. It was fun.
10,
64,
5,
72.
3, 2, 1. Right here.
Ooh, way off. 50, 57.
That's it, go. Be mindful, you only have one set of tires remaining.
First round of
Line
pit
up
stops
single
just
file.
about to get
Catch
underway
the
here as
A
Brian McCann
car.
pulls it down
Catch
pit
the
lane.
A car.
And I think everybody's coming with them. They're going to need the fuel for starters. Curious to see who takes tires and who doesn't. Again, only 2 sets over the wall. Suppose you could take a set here. We'll see. McCann, right sides for sure.
99, 100.
Same for Brandon Mefford. Yeah, 4 tires and fuel. That's kind of the way to go. I just don't think you can go fuel only and maintain
I knew
enough
I badly
pace
burned my right front off, but I
to
didn't
not
realize
lose a
I
lap.
turned it all the way
These
down to
guys are kind of
35.
forced. They can't really save us
35.
late
Woo.
in the race. You get a caution. But with that,
Down to
we're
the
gonna jump out here,
cords.
get a quick break. We'll be back after this.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Now, if we do green flag pit stops, A, I got to make it in without wrecking. B, you got to
All right, man,
remember
we're
to
going
change my
green
brake
next time
pads.
by. All right, man, line up on the inside row.
Oh, I'm muted up here.
Get ready. The pace car is in. The pace car is in. Green, green, green.
Look at everybody behind us.
Go low, go low, go low, go low.
I thought that one might get somebody. That one spun extra on second.
It's the 8 car.
Spun a little extra. Whew.
It's the
I honestly
15
thought I was
car.
ahead of you, but no worries. Just glad to avoid that type of a wreck right there.
It's the 8 car.
My bad, guys. I don't know what the hell happened there.
Back at Atlanta Motor Speedway, green flag just now coming back out. Ryan McCann with a good restart. Brandon Befford in the second spot. And caution immediately. We got trouble in the back of the pack.
Pretty good.
The 15 of Vincent Short around here in the dog
The
leg.
road is now open.
Just as quickly as the green came out, the yellow followed. Vince Short, the number 15 Track Bar Media Chevrolet, having troubles on the restart. Let's get a look at it. It's a little late in the replay. Let's back it up. From my first glance, it looks like Vince might have spun the tires. Here, full speed. Yep.
Yeah.
Car 88. Got the lucky dog. Let him by on the
As
outside.
soon as those RPM,
Dang, it just snapped left on
the
him.
race car came around.
I
That's all she wrote.
thought for me it went right, but maybe it was left. I don't know. I knew right off the bat it didn't have the traction like it did the first time we took off.
On board.
Like I thought maybe I could get wide open in second. Nope.
Some drivers going to come down pit lane here. Alan DeFries being one of them. Vincent Short, obviously, going to be another here. Some left front damage on the number 15 machine. Alan DeFries also with a bit of damage.
Let the 88 car by.
No, back out front. Brian McCann, Brandon Mefford, Will Hewitt, Neil Quick, Chris Goins. That's your current top 5. Big movers so far throughout the field. Mark Truxell in the 9th position, running 12 spots higher than where he started. So far, so good for the 5.
Chris
Brian, you
came
want
from
some of
the...
this dirty air yet?
Still taking that Little Tate's Cupcakes machine.
No, thank you.
The front. A good job of it so far.
It's free today.
While we're in a caution here, it's still very quiet here in the stream chat, guys. Usually we got conversations, arguments, finger pointing, you name it.
I bet it ain't fun.
Early on, like I said,
Of course, if you can get to somebody's spoiler, you can upset him enough to pass him. So I got to be mindful of that.
Of course,
Brandon wants to race right here off the go.
because he's not here to crash tonight. Actually, if Mike Fahey crashes something at work, it's probably going to be on the news.
Like I want to save tire, but I don't want him to be out front either. So I guess he's in charge of how fast we go.
No, once again, we're going to take a short break here. We've got the opportunity under the yellow flag, so stay with us. We'll be back after this.
All right, man, we're going green next time by.
It looks
All right,
like
man, line up on the inside row.
He did by 2/100ths of a second over Brandon. That S4 guy off turn 4 for the final time sees the checkered flag. It waves, belongs to the 315. Checkered flag. Contact and Brian Rose wins it. A photo finish at the line. Oh, we got a wreck Will Hewitt's through the trial for the final time, and oh, they're wrecking. Big trouble. Vincent Short sneaks through, and I think
Let's do it again.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and
Get
he's
ready.
always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very
Take cars in.
generous. He
Take
has a
cars in.
genuine concern for people. You need
Green
somebody
flag,
that
green
cares
flag.
about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Inside. Say hi. Still there.
green flag back on the speedway. Brian McCann with another good jump over Brandon
Say hi.
Mefford.
That's his plan. He wants in front of me.
Clear low, clear low. Inside. Still there.
And just getting out of it. 3.5 10
Say hi.
gap back to the 83 of Brandon Mefford. We got a battle in here for the third spot. Will Hewitt, Theo
Say
Quick.
hi.
Quick about a car length off the back bumper of the
Good job, the
33
next
as they
car
work through
clear.
turns 3 and 4.
The leader just did a 31.204. Say hi. Got one outside. Still there? Hold your line.
Meanwhile, Brandon Mefford goes to the point here, or at least for a moment,
Still there.
dove it down to the bottom, gets alongside Brian McCann. McCann had such a lead just a moment ago.
Stay
I'm going to
low.
wonder if the 3 slipped up in the middle of the corner. Certainly didn't hit anything that we can see, but Mefford there, right there in
75
attack
left of the session.
formation
You're clear
alongside
high,
the
clear high.
3.
All right. You're back
Still
in
not
first.
quite clear.
Got one outside.
Can battling
All
back
clear,
on the
all clear.
outside. Side by side, door handle to door handle at the start finish line. Now back into turn number 1. They continue to fight.
Got one inside.
All this is going to do is let the 33 and the 2
Still
start
there.
to close
Hold your
in. Looks like Mefford's going to be clear, though. On to turn
Stay
number
high.
2. Brandon Mefford to the point. Can's going to swap it
Still
over,
there.
though. Drops it to the
Clear
inside.
low,
He's
clear
going to
low.
try and take it away on the bottom. I think McCann's led every lap from this
Inside.
point so far. If he can get across the line first here, he can
high.
maintain that. Looks like a run coming to the outside by Mefford. No, not
All
enough.
clear, all
McCann
clear.
stays out in front. Now he's clear of the 83.
I think he almost lost it there.
Mefford's going to have to tuck back in or stay high side. He's
I was watching my driving more than I was watching his,
see what we see here down at turn number 3.
and I almost hit the wall. That's going to hurt our long run tire situation here.
Brandon Mefford for the race lead here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Still side by side out of turn 4. Little wiggle from Mefford.
See if I can't get him cooled off a little bit before he gets back up here.
It's back to the 2 of New.
Neil back there hanging 2 seconds back. Look at that.
Still side by side for the lead here at Atlanta off turn number 2. Mefford, McCann.
He's going to have a potential late race run.
The racetrack lost the nose a little bit. Man, Mefford's still getting awfully close to that outside wall on corner exit. Just gotta wonder how much heat these guys have put into their tires fighting for that top spot. I think
That was nice of Brandon to run me there, though.
now they get singled out one by one. The battle with Joe Tucker and Mark Truxell once again. 8th and 9th.
Hell, he might come back for seconds.
8th, Truxell attacking. Brow back in the 10th spot.
He's trying.
Redding, Matt Kopp, 11th and 12th.
That dirty air must suck because he's going low on 1 and 2. He's probably not wrong. This car is limited on entry and mid.
Here after those two quick successive.
By that right front. Big time. You can't lean on it at all.
Managed to get both laps back. He is still on the lead lap at this point in time as we approach halfway, but he seems off pace, and he's about 16 seconds behind the race.
At the very end of the turn, you're limited by the right rear.
Speed at this point. 32.97 was his last lap.
Now I gotta get back in a tire save mode.
Look at this here. It seems that Eddie is the only driver on the track that did not take tires during his pit stop. Now, I don't know if that's truly the case on the first stop because he did that under the green flag. He has made 2 pit stops, though, of course, the most recent coming at lap 42. Jimmy Stubblefield's going to pull out the racetrack. He's going to hit pit lane. Jimmy pulls into the pit box here. A little bit deep in the box, but not too far. And it looks like fuel only. And Jimmy's out of it. Left the race car, so maybe he's just calling it a night. Not sure the situation there with Stubblefield, the number 92. Just pulls it down off the racetrack at halfway. I guess throws in the towel.
All right, man. Halfway this time.
Kristen Sykes in the stream chat says, is Chris Elliott making minimum speed? Well, I'm going to assume so. His last lap, a 32.42 versus the leader's 32.09. I'd say he's pretty close. Elliott running back in 16th, up 1 spot from qualifying. Ahead of Vincent Short right now. Short cause for our last caution on the restart. Spun the tires in front of half the field. Very quickly put us back under the yellow flag.
Neil could potentially beat me here. I think he's who I got to worry about now.
Short now below the 29 and Chris Elliott. He's going to take that spot, so move Elliott back to 17. Kristen Sykes says he usually isn't, just checking. Finally, we got somebody chatting in here. It's been awful quiet. Laps past halfway here from Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Will's also been fast every race he's been in. Got to keep an eye on him too.
Further towards the front of the field for the 10th spot. Mark Truxell has it for the time being. Jesse Redding applying some pressure. Drew Browl has made some inroads coming up towards the front of the field after a disastrous opening lap. Went from 3rd back to the less than half the pack. About 16th, I think, is where he landed after lap 1 after spinning the tires.
Oh, Brandon dropped back big time. What happened?
Here running in the 8th position. Number 80, Wolf Machine. Chris Goins and Chris Mefford fighting for position. Chris Mefford into the top 5. Goins now back to 6th. Mefford making that pass on the high side. Got it done. Meanwhile, back up front, some changes. Brian McCann's still out front, but Will Hewitt has jumped up into the 2nd spot. Neil Quick into 3rd. Brandon Mefford has slipped back to the 4th position. We talked about this a little bit early on after the restart. Those two battling side by side for the better part of 3 or 4 laps. You gotta wonder how
I think it's going to get worse
was inflicted
on the front stretch this
for both of those
fuel run.
and Mefford. can, though, still maintaining his race lead.
I can't explain why, but it feels like it's already wanting to give out there.
Takes over the second spot from Will Hewitt.
Do they model like the track getting hot and slippery or something?
That's to make you wonder. Guys like Brian McCann, it seems like he can go out there and hammer the snot out of his car, beat up those tires, and still maintain a very fast pace. His last lap was a 32.
What were my tire temps last time? Well, yeah, right there I almost went. 260.
Will Hewitt was a 3.
Ain't that hot. I've seen 315 before.
Brandon Mefford a 33.02. Chris Mefford a 33.10. Tight times. Back, we'll switch it up. Change up the timing tower here. It shows the most recently completed lap for
Yeah, it's going to get real tough to drive.
comparison, specifically within the top 5. Who's really got the pace right now? And it seems that the 83 of Mefford has picked it back up. Watching the fight here, second, third, and fourth. Neil Quick, Will Hewitt, Brandon Mefford.
Speaking of,
Well, Hewitt up the racetrack. It's going to open the door for Brandon Mefford, but Mefford can't keep it down in the low lane. Real loose out of turn 2. Has to save it. Straightens it back out. It's ready to make an entry into 3. Does an okay job there, but loses a bit of track position. Now it's 5-6 car lengths between himself and Will Hewitt. She's got 70 laps up on the board. No better time than now. Take an HBR TV side-by-side break. Stay with us, folks. You won't miss a moment of the action. We'll be back after this.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Eh. It was too high on right before exit. It'd be a little bit lower,
44 laps remain.
a little bit more easier on the throttle.
The victor here tonight, though, Brian McCann has already locked up most laps led.
Coming low, Eddie. Go high.
McCann out in front here as we get 43 laps to go. Quick back in the second spot, 2.3 seconds in the
Like that.
third. Brandon Mefford fourth. Chris Goins back up into the fifth position, while Chris Mefford has slipped back to sixth. Just a couple of car lengths off the back bumper of the Popple Pro number 41. Eddie Rose still on.
I am using more right front, but Neil's not catching me, so I think I'm good. Well, I had to race Brandon real hard, so that might explain the right front.
Will Hewitt pulls off the racetrack. He hits pit road. Will Hewitt into his pit box. He's going to take what appears to be his last set of tires. Should be enough to get him home as far as the tires are concerned, but I wonder if he's got enough to make it to the end on fuel. It seemed like some guys might have been close at the end.
It really prefers an easy entry
Run. We're down to about
into one.
laps to go. Forget that final lap.
Damn, here as well.
To be counted, so even though it's 80 to 120, it's really 40, but at that final lap, it's 41 laps to actually run.
Let me see if I can replicate that.
It's out in front over Neil Quick. Quick chasing the race car up the racetrack, a little loose on exit, as is just
Not really.
here tonight.
I think I went too easy that time. Oh, I think I see what it likes.
That cop by Eddie Rose. Vincent Short running back in the 12th position. Be next to roll up on the 88. Yeah, one car maybe off the racetrack, Matt Cop.
Likes that right there.
He slips it down into the grass.
That brake pedal.
The inside wall. Cop just stops it and takes the tow truck to pit lane. Car didn't look too damaged. I think he'd have been okay. And I think he's just giving up. Cop out of this one. Again, extending his lead still. 2.68 seconds. Let's get a look what happened here just a lap ago with Matt Cobb. Back it up further. He might have been real loose. Yeah, you see him lay some rubber down. Go slow-mo here. So number 22, Kids Talk.
Right over that little hump.
Dog leg in the flat effectively here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Still trying to get that power down. You can see
I want you to brake there.
and that was actually Old Tire Tracks. Gathers it back up. Sends it through the grass. Now he could have been real aggressive here and come straight up on the racetrack, but then you got to run the risk of someone driving into you. So Cobb stays down in the grass, drives it back to the grass. Maybe this was intentional as far as, you know what, I'm done. Tough to say. Either way, he makes impact.
Steve. Oh, God, I can't go that low.
Stay low. You're clear high. Clear high.
I was wondering where he was going.
3.12 seconds ahead of Neil.
I can't turn down right there.
Brandon Mefford ripping the top here, trying to find a way to reel in and pass the two of Neil Quick.
He pitted early, didn't he? He's trying to get that
Really pushing hard here, trying to
track time, isn't he?
pass Neil Quick here.
See, he went a lap down. He pitted lap 79.
Second spot.
Nah, you're good. I was losing it, and you went for the pass.
Yeah, and the arrow push that we talked about early on certainly affecting the 83. And you got to be careful, because if all of a sudden you go from arrow tight to all of a sudden having a bunch of air on the nose, well, chances are you've got a lot of wheel into it. Now you've got a bunch of extra front downforce. Now we go from arrow tight to arrow loose very quickly. Befford making a luck.
Then they are really dropping off.
You have about 5 laps of fuel left.
Befford got alongside of Neil Quick. Not much he can do just yet. Might have a run unless Neil gets clear. No, has another run down the back straightaway. These two fighting it out is allowing Ryan McCann to get even further out ahead. It's about a 4-second gap back to the second place machine of Neil Quick. Little wiggle out of Brandon Befford as he tucks back in behind, but not giving up the attack. All of these drivers now within their fuel window. If they want to pit now and try to undercut, they can. As Befford, man, I thought he was going to get a piece of the wall there. You know how Chris Goins, Joe Tucker, Jesse Redding, Mike Tucker, Chris Elliott, Mark Truxell, Ken Couch, all in pit lane. Last pit stops under the green flag here for a lot of these drivers. Lap 89. Again, we know they can go at least 40 laps on a tank of fuel. I don't know about 41 or 42. But in this case, we've got 31 laps to go as Mike Tucker slides to a stop at his stall. Chris Goins down and away, 14.72 seconds. A good stop for the 41. Meanwhile, Vincent Short back up into the top 5. Ahead of Drew Prail now at 6th. Top 7 drivers need to make a pit stop here before this one's said and done. So does the 9th place machine of Will Hewitt.
Neil went in.
You've got about 2 laps left on fuel.
Now, if I'm the race leader, you're sitting here, you're kind of torn. When do I make my pit stop? I'm sure Brian McCann's already got a plan for this figured out in his head. But you're going to have some guys, and we've already seen some try it, work the undercut. And that means come down pit road a little bit sooner than you think the leaders are going to take advantage of fresh tires. They've done all that, so now they can run faster lap times than Brian McCann currently is. McCann's last lap was the 33.43.
2, 1.
Laps on fresh tires are about 2 seconds faster. So that's a lot of track position to be gained if you come down
50, 60 ain't no problem.
earlier on. The risk that they've got, you pit now, you lose a lap, and then the caution comes out. Well, there's only one guy that'll be okay with that. That's whoever's in the free pass position, and right now that's Chris Goins. And here comes Brian McCann, though. He's going to take his last set of tires and top it off with fuel. Brian McCann, Brandon Mefford's going to follow.
The leader just did a 34.077.
Right side tires going on for McCann. Does he go 2 or does he take all 4? Doesn't really need the track position. He probably just needs the grip. There you see it. Left sides go up in the air. So 4 tires in Sunoco Racing fuel for Brian McCann. Drops the jack. Not a fast stop. 15.3 seconds. Brandon Mefford is out of there a little slower, actually. 15.57.
The car in front is pitting.
Brian McCann, after his pit stop, still comes out in the 5th position.
2.7.
And enough drivers a lap down that he manages to finish that pit work under green without going down the lap. It's also going to put Chris Goins back on the lead lap. Neil Quick in 7th on the lead lap. Your first driver 1 lap down, the 83 of Brandon Mefford, who ironically did pit with Brian McCann at the same time. But as we say that, he gets his lap back. So does Matt Sisler. So does Joe Tucker and Mark Truxell. Again, pit cycle's underway, so we're going to see this switch up quite a bit here in that timing tower to the left. As Chris Mefford comes down pit road.
Car 33.
Quick slide's going to stop at the pit box. Almost a tick too far, but that's all right.
9.5.
As long as you got all 4 tires in there, you're in good shape. Right sides go on. Crew drive walks around the left side. 4 tires in Sunoco Racing fuel for Chris Mefford. His first race of the season here in the Noble Racing Series. Dumps the clutch and back out on the road he goes. 15.33 seconds for Chris Mefford. Meanwhile, Vincent Short, after taking over the race lead, he's going to come down to the attention of his crew. Will Hewitt now goes to the point.
All right, you're back in second.
Short into his box. Four tires and fuel for Vince as well. Now the question is, when does Will Hewitt come down? Hewitt's last pit stop at lap 78. Hewitt's going to have to make one more stop, and I really think he's just kind of banking on a caution at this point. 24 laps to go.
You're gaining on the car truck.
Meanwhile, through the pit cycle, Brian McCann back up into the second spot. Interesting, there's about 14 laps difference between when Will Hewitt came down versus Brian McCann. We know McCann can go to the end from here based on the fuel that he needed to get to the end of this race. Will Hewitt, though, that might be a question mark. I don't know if he came down too soon. Unless he's just got it figured out. Perfect. I don't know. He might be okay. I know we talked about it when he hit pit road. It's going to be tight, but if he can save some fuel, he might be all right. He's certainly going to lose on pace.
The leader just did a 30.
McCann's only 6 3/4 seconds back and closing rapidly. 23 laps to go. Yeah, he's going to catch him for sure. Last time by for Will Hewitt was a 33.19. McCann was a 31.57. Chris Goins is cycled up in the third spot. Neil Quick. Few car lengths off the back bumpers. He works on the turn number 2. Michael Tucker rolling through. Tucker is 16th. Last car, no, I don't think he's even on the lead lap anymore. And Tucker in 39 machine, 1 lap down. Ken Couch 13th. 1 lap down. The first car 1 lap down, so he is in the free pass position if the caution were to come out. Neil Quick drive to the inside here, taking a look on Chris Goins from the third spot. Tell you, it seems like every week I'm interviewing Brian McCann and Neil Quick at a minimum. Again, those drivers coming out of the IROC Challenge Series, they've had all season long to run this race car in their home league, so they've got the experience, certainly showing that it's helpful. Jesse Redding and Michael Tucker are going to hit pit road. Tucker in his pit box. Very slow stop for Michael Tucker, 16.78 seconds.
You're gaining on the car truck. The gap is 1.2 seconds.
Redding slowly coming to a stop in his pit stall.
Hold on to it, Ken.
20 laps to go. I think Jesse may have just been crossing his fingers hoping for a yellow here so he could take advantage of those tires without losing a lap.
Outside.
Jesse Redding back in 15th, drops the jack. He's down to the way. Another fast stop, 14.77 for the 21. Back out front.
Oops.
Still with the race lead, Ken Couch to the inside. Couch not on the lead lap. He's going to try and get this one back the old-fashioned way, but dips the left sides below the white line through 3 and 4. Upsets the balance of the race car. He's going to have to try it again. Real loose in the dog leg. Good save by Ken Couch. Brian McCann, though, closing fast. Less than half a second away. 17 and a half laps to
That
go.
right rear fender's going to be unhappy with me after this race.
All right, man, you're back in first.
There you see it. The closing rate from the threes. He almost gets the outside wall. 17 to go. McCann.
Now, if Neil, Brandon, and Chris came out and just saved big time, hoping for a caution,
Very good with. Doesn't need to
we might be talking if a caution comes out.
right around. Ryan McCann back to the.
I haven't exactly worn my tires out, but I'm at full race pace. Let's see if I can back off here some.
You're pulling away from the car behind. The gap is 1.4 seconds.
Just drive one-handed for a while.
Ryan McCann back to the lead here out of turn number 2, down the backstretch into 3. He's just got to run some clean laps, cross his fingers, hope the caution doesn't come out so he doesn't have to deal with another restart. But if anybody can handle it, it's going to be the 3 of Brian McCann. Hewitt still in the second position. The question mark there is, does he have enough fuel? Might have come just a lap too soon. I don't know for sure. Again, I know there was
I kind of like driving one-handed. This is weird
caution laps at
because it forces you to not be so heavy on the throttle.
the completion of lap 40. As it stands now, oh, Will Hewitt loose on a 2. I think he's just trying to save it. Tell you, it almost
Like when I got my right hand up there, I'm like, yeah, let's go.
maybe it was out of fuel,
But right now, I'm
but that would still be too
saying,
soon.
actually ain't that bad.
He just didn't get it full. You may see
I can just
do that.
watch my steering wheel angle a little bit better.
The fuel around within the fuel cell
I'm hardly even moving it.
is actually in the right rear corner of the fuel cell. They do that because predominantly you're taking left turns in this series, and the centrifugal force is going to push all that fuel to the right rear of the race car. Still big time wiggles.
I think Neil's quit catching me, but he's not going to catch me in 10 laps.
He's doing it on purpose at this point. He shouldn't be that tight on fuel yet.
And I'm just saving big time. He's 4.1.
Hewitt maintaining the second spot.
I don't want him any closer than 2, just in case I make a mistake or something.
Still quick, starting to
We should be all right.
12 and a half laps to go. I don't know if Hewitt's going to have enough pace
He's catching me 4/10 a lap right now.
to save fuel.
I might have to start doing this more in the next gen. I mean, Gen 4.
Been cleaning
Hey, Brian, how's it going? Thanks for the like.
6. It's our last caution when Vincent
Trying out one-handed steering here, and it's actually working out marvelously.
Field.
10 to go at the line.
I'm a lot more easier on the throttle for some reason.
In the pack here for the 10th spot, Vincent Short.
Fear, maybe? I don't know.
Looks into the bottom here, trying to take the 9th position from Mark Truxell. Truxell still working the high lane. Mark will have a big run here out of turn 4. Great way to stay out in front and defend the position. Vince just had a better exit. It's alongside down into turn number 1, and the 15's got Mark clear to move Vince Short up into the 9th spot. Drew Braille might be taking it away from Mark as well. Move the 80 to the top 10, maybe not. Slots in behind the 5, down the backstretch. Little piece of the wall for Braille. That's not a good way to do it. He's real loose into turn 3. Man, I don't know if Braille even lifted because he didn't lose any ground. Had that thing 40 degrees sideways into turn number 3. Never got off the throttle and still maintains
It's not only the throttle, but entry.
off the back bumper of Mark Truxell. Seen a lot of these guys wiggle the ass end of the race car here through the dog leg too. That flat part of the racetrack, especially as these tires are wearing out, becomes very treacherous. We're seeing it also on the exit of turn 2. I don't think there's any place on this racetrack that's safe right now as Mark Truxell gets a piece of the wall on the entry to 3 as well.
I'm not leaning on it as hard.
Entry as you possibly make here to straighten those corners out as best as possible. Problem is, if you go too far, well, there's a wall there. 9 laps to go from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Brian McCann out with a 5.5 second advantage as Neil Quick just now makes the pass on Will Hewitt. The move quick up into the second spot. And Hewitt's going to worry about the 83 of Brandon Mefford because he's right there as well. He's going to close in. He's going to challenge for that third spot. Again, Hewitt's pit stop came at lap 78. Brandon Mefford was lap 92. Here he goes. Brandon Mefford looking to the outside. Hewitt shuts the door. Crossing over is Mefford. Back to the stripe to the double dog leg. Mefford completes the pass, slides up the racetrack. A little crossover from Will Hewitt, but I don't know if he's going to have enough to drive it out of turn 2.
Wow, it does not want to come off that corner like that.
Where he started, Chris Goins running in 5th, also where he started
We're in
today.
a podium position.
Is this going to be a caution-free race? No, we had one off a green flag, didn't we?
Chris Elliott running back in 13th. Chris, the last car on the lead lap for now, at least for now. Brian McCann closing in. You see him there in the distance, about 10 to 12 car lengths back. 5 laps to go. Doug Wysocki running in the 12th spot. Still a strong afternoon for Doug. Started 20th. Mark Truxell now has just slipped outside the top 10. Also still a very strong day for the 5 as he's up for the 21st spot in 11th. Braille having a good recovery after his first lap issues. Vincent Short, speaking of recovery, also having a good run here after that incident that brought us under caution. Chris Mefford back in 8th, started 9th. Quiet participant here tonight, not making a whole lot of noise, but still having a strong run. Oh, Tucker, remember, started in 13th. He's running in the 7th position. Having a great race this afternoon. Then Matt Sisler in the 6th position, started 11th. Sure, Matt would love to get up there and battle with Chris Goins to put that Celsius Kia within the top 5, but it looks like he might have to settle for P6 here tonight.
One more lap to win.
Chris Mefford, though, right to the back bumper of Joe Tucker, now drives it alongside through turns 1 and 2. Might be clear on exit. Yes, he is. Chris Mefford into the 7th spot with ease. Down the backstretch, Tucker doesn't have any answer for that. Will he drive it in deep? He does not. Meanwhile, Brian McCann, 6th.
Get the record books out.
Works down the back straightaway. A lap and a half to go for the 3. It'll be another race.
We're going to put another entry in. Whee!
Did good, man. You drove a good race.
I'm going to drift 3 and 4.
Coming to the line, white flag in the air, final lap.
See how long I can do it. Oh, I didn't get my flick in. There we go.
One more time through turns 3 and 4, and Brian McCann will head to victory lane. Brian McCann started from pole position, enters the dogleg for the final time. Checkered flag. Brian McCann wins it here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Neil Quick's going to come home in the 2nd spot. Brandon Mefford 3rd, so it's an IROC sweep once again.
I got up on the outside of there a couple of times, but just couldn't hold it there. You know, just loose control.
he's spinning it sideways into the infield grass. I don't think that's what he intended, but that's what he got.
That was great, guys. That was a lot of fun. Once I figured out not to burn my tires up after like 10 laps.
Brian McCann makes it 2 in a row.
Whee!
Pit box in 10.
Blow it up. Can't take it. Hey!
You suck.
I know.
Figured you would Brandon race as hard as you guys would if you'd burnt your stuff up, but you checked back out.
That when we went off from the stage, yeah. And then I think you were catching us a little bit, but on that last run, I saved it.
Well, that's it for the celebration for the...
Yeah, I just got a little bit... what killed me on the pit stop is I got a little bit of loose and coming in, and I had to check up pretty hard.
I met Marco
I was gonna spin.
Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude.
So I lost a shit ton getting the pit road on that last great green flag pit stop
He's
there.
the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is. And that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Hey, boys, that's an IROC sweep. We would have had it last week if I didn't get run over.
Yep.
Neil,
He
quick,
had a good
Brandon
ability,
Mefford.
Brian.
I don't remember who that was. He's not in here.
He wasn't here.
Yeah, he wasn't. Will Hewitt 4th, Chris Goins 5th, Chris Mefford 7th, Vincent Short 9th, Doug with a 12th. I can't tell who wrecked out early.
Neil, what do we got to do to take out this 3 car?
Crash him. Same thing me and him got to do to Jaden and Aaron tomorrow.
What were your tires that last run? If you don't care or share.
Mine?
And Brian's.
Mine shows 67 on the right front.
50, 60.
That last run?
Oh, no. The, I never reset, so it would have been the stage till we pitted green.
Brian McCann, it's Steve with HBR TV. You got a copy?
Hey, I do. How's it going?
Brian, congratulations, man. An awesome victory here. Put it on pole, led the most laps, and take the checkered flag for 2 races in a row, man. Tell us about your night and how you managed the strategy with those tires tonight to stay so fast through every portion of the run here tonight.
Yeah, those tires, that was the name of the game there. You had to baby those tires. You didn't want to turn that steering wheel any more than you had to, so it was all about right foot. It was real hard to drive later in the run when they started getting worn out. Brandon gave me some good racing there at the right after the stage, trying to get in front of me. He wanted me to see what that dirty air felt like, and I didn't really want to test it.
Well, I was going to ask you about that too, because you guys did battle it out there for a few laps after the second restart, after the Vincent Short issue. It seemed that Brandon kind of burned up his tires in that fight, but it didn't affect you quite as badly, as you were still able to pull away, and then Mefford was slipping back after the fact. What was the changes that you had to make there to maintain the pace that you had, even though you were battling with Brandon?
So right before that, I knew that he was probably going to battle, because being a leader, that fresh air is just so important. So I already had made up in my mind to run him hard and just try to stay with him. But I think it was on lap 1 or 2, I started noticing, I was burning way too much. So I dropped off, let him have the lead, and then cut back under him. And luckily, after that, he started slowing down. But you could tell we was just killing the tires there. So it was pretty tough to do and maintain that long run speed.
Well, with that, we switch things up next week. We head to the Paperclip at Martinsville Speedway on the 5th of November. How do you feel about your shot there on the short track, the not tricky triangle, the Paperclip at Martinsville Speedway next week?
That's going to be interesting. I don't think I've had this car on that track yet. So there's a lot of horsepower, not a lot of traction. So it might be pretty fun.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to watch for sure. Certainly want to stiffen up those throttle pedals if at all possible, because you're going to want to be careful putting the power down out of the corners of that place.
No doubt.
Well, Brian, again, congratulations on the race win here. 2 in a row. Good luck for 3 in a row next week. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, my family, you for doing the broadcast, league admins for putting this show on, sponsors, drivers showing up every week. Love it. Great racing. Thanks.
Brian McCann.
That's going to be interesting. I don't think I've had this car on that track yet. So there's a lot of horsepower, not a lot of traction. So it might be pretty fun.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to watch for sure. Certainly want to stiffen up those throttle pedals if at all possible, because you're going to want to be careful putting the power down out of the corners of that place.
Weird. No doubt.
Well, Brian, again, congratulations on the race win here. 2 in a row. Good luck for 3.
Have a good one
next week. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
See you, buddy.
Yeah, my family, you for doing the broadcast, league admins for putting this show on, sponsors, drivers showing up every week. Love it. Great racing. Thanks.
Brian McCann, your race winner here from Atlanta Motor Speedway, the old Atlanta Motor Speedway. And I'll tell you, I never thought a guy would get tired of winning races, but it almost sounds like Brian is getting bored.
What?
Need some guys out here in the stream that might be faster. Come in here and give this guy.
Sound like I was getting bored.
With that said, let's go to second place finisher Neil Quick.
Oh no!
Certainly getting closer. We keep talking to him every single week.
I'm gonna have to. I mean, I do say the same things every week.
Neil, congratulations!
Or every time I win.
Runner-up finish. It seems.
I need to.
We talk. You're still within the top 3, but
get some new material, don't I?
What is it going to take to get you into victory lane here?
I didn't realize I sound boring.
Here in Noble.
Thank you, Steve.
I mean, shit, Steve, he went battling with Brandon tonight. I was just sitting back there eating popcorn, waiting for something to happen or them guys to use their stuff up. Sure enough, the 83 come back to me, but the 3 just continued to motor on through. I don't know. Brian's just an excellent driver. Got a lot of time on the sim, and each night you race against him. You race.
Thank you, Neil.
One of the best out there. So congratulations to him on the win tonight, and just need to spend more time here and try to figure out what he's got, because we don't have it.
Well, it seems to be that I know you guys run this car over in the IROC Challenge Series, and it definitely has seemed to help all of you guys in this particular league. Is you're more than half, maybe 3/4 of the way through your season. How much has the experience in that league contributed to your success?
Front bumper might be used at that track.
It definitely has. I mean, these cars are just a different animal. You got to drive it basically sideways off the right rear tire. And ironically tonight, I mean, for me, I was using up way more tire than I thought, especially on the right front. So kind of shocked me a little bit compared to the last couple of weeks. So not sure what I was doing different tonight, but didn't get.
No, that's just how it is. That's how this track is.
Besides jumping into the room tonight to race, and just kind of sat back and watched Will that had a good run. The 33 had a good drive tonight, and the 83 was really good. Chris Gomes was up there. So a lot of good drivers tonight. Just try to find a good pace and try to be there at the end this week. You didn't want to be on the infield spinning through the grass, but I didn't see the number one tonight, so I knew that was going to be easier.
Number one.
Well, with all that said,
Who's
next
that?
week we switch up a bit here, kind of a different discipline as we go into the paperclip at Martinsville Speedway next week. Short track racing with these cars.
He called somebody out there.
I don't know if you've got any experience with it.
Is that Drew?
Martinsville. What are your thoughts rolling into Martinsville, Virginia next week?
It's a clean slate. I haven't practiced these cars at Martinsville. Haven't read them in the other league either. So better find some time to get some practice.
This doesn't give car numbers.
Be good because that's going to be a tough place with these cars.
Well, we're looking forward to it either way. Neil, congratulations on another solid runner-up finish.
Neil said number one wasn't out on the track.
Before we let you go.
That's why he didn't get hit or something like that.
Eric Dodson, TBM. I believe it's Stivers or Stevers there that sponsors.
Oh, so yeah, he's talking about him.
Guys doing the broadcast, and then all the guys that come out to race every week. It's a blast being here on Sunday nights and racing.
All right, Neil, again, congratulations on a second place finish. And I want to thank you again for helping us out with the plaques for the Noble Can-Am Series. Looks like all the drivers got their hardware for their season's effort. I really do appreciate the work on that. They came out great.
Very cool. Thanks, Steve-O. Talk to you later in the week.
Devo.
All right, Neil Quick, your runner-up here.
Is that his nickname?
Speedway. Next, we're going to go to Brandon Mefford, our third place finisher, another IROC driver. See his take here. We'll get him up in the HBR TV booth. Brandon, it's Steve with HBR TV. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Steve.
Brandon, congratulations. A solid third place finish here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Walk us through the strategy tonight. Again, you started outside front row, not able to finish second or better, but third place not too shabby considering the company you're with up there in the top five.
Oh, absolutely. My strategy tonight was pretty simple. Keep it clean. Don't wreck it. This track was really slick, and you really had to throttle the car to keep it straight. And as you noticed, I didn't do a great job of that. So let Brian get away from me there. Obviously the man to beat, but thought we could have hung with him there. At least kept him in the, kept him in the front visor. But man, he's just so good on and off pit road and saving his tires and being smooth. He's going to be hard to beat the rest of the season.
Well, looking at the best lap categories here, I have to go back and verify it, but I think you may have had the fastest lap of the race by about a tenth, maybe a tenth and a half over Brian McCann. And it very well could have been while you guys were fighting it out. I don't know, but I wanted to talk about that battle. I mentioned.
Oh, yeah, he had the fastest lap by far.
Side there for a handful of laps after the stage. It seemed to affect your car more negatively after the fact than it did his, as you lost a couple of positions while Brian was still able to drive away. What, in your mind, was the difference?
What lap was that
battle, and what maybe hurt your tires more than his in that instance?
Now, the main thing was I drove it in there so deep, trying to slide job him. I wanted to lead a lap, and I wanted to be out in front because that clean air, I think, was going to be key. So when I drove it in there, Brian was able to turn back down, and to be honest with you, he got to the inside, and I couldn't see him. So I was trying to be really careful up off the corner, and he got back by me, and then
Is this it?
I just kept getting into the wall, and that's really why I lost all that position, that track position. I just about wrecked it. So
yeah, because I was like kind of saving mode,
get back up there,
and man, he just threw it in. He wanted that
like I said, Brian
lead.
was so smooth, and I didn't want to wreck him there when I got back on the underside of it. But tried to get that clean air. I knew it was going to be key, and it was.
Place like this, especially in these cars, clean air is certainly king, but we switch things up a little bit next week when we go to Martinsville.
Oh, he threw it in and kind of like
here, the Meffords kind of like those short track races.
Entered early and slid up.
Out of the paperclip.
I think this car's going to be totally different. I think my brother's going to be really good. Neil's going to be good. Brian's going to be good.
He did this turn good. This is why he's in the lead right now.
Short track racer, so I think it's anybody's game.
I think it was right here. I backed off.
If we don't see the bumper being used a little, so I'm going to go out on a limb and say new winner.
Yeah.
New winner is the prediction next week.
I got a bad entry, so I was just like, I'm done with that turn.
Competition, as some people will understand my.
If I would have stayed in it, I would have burned my right front up.
Congratulations. Who do you want to shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, I want to thank everybody over here at Noble. As you could tell, you get a call up, but these races have been incredible. Bunch of clean guys, fast guys. very little cautions or beating and banging. So shout out to all the guys over at Noble, all the sponsors that put on this deal. You guys for the broadcast. You do a great job, Steve. I'm proud to race with you calling the races. And I got to thank everybody over at Charity Motorsports. Shout out to my IROC crew. IROC was 1, 2, 3 tonight. So pretty proud of those guys. And then my charity.
I did kind of block him there a little bit.
My family for let me get on here and do my thing 3 or 4 nights a week. And I think that's about it, bub.
Job well done, Brandon. Congratulations. Good luck next week.
Thanks, Steve. We'll see you then.
Brandon Mefford, your third
I think
place.
here he had a bad drive off, maybe.
Take a look at our race results. Of course, Brian McCann, Neil Quick, Brandon Mefford.
A little slip up.
Will Hewitt.
I think the right front started giving out on us.
Fifth place finisher.
Right around about there.
Sixth went to Matt Sisler. Chris Mefford was seventh. Again, another IROC driver. So 3 in the top 3, 4 in the top 10. So those IROC guys certainly do have
he was sliding up.
work to do.
Thank you for letting out there. I remember seeing that.
Eighth place finisher was
his right front gave out on him.
Ninth, a good recovery after the caution he was involved with. 10th, Drew Prell, another great recovery after that first lap. Oops. Mark Truxell, a good run, finishing in the 11th spot. Hard charger tonight would be the 5 as he passed 10 positions, race cars, drivers, however you want to put it. He moved up 10 spots on the racetrack here to 11th. 12th place.
Yeah, you were coming up the track a little.
Ken Couch, 14th. Jesse Redding was 15th.
Thank you for letting out.
16th. Eddie
that would have been bad.
17th. Matt Kopp finishes in the 8th.
Then hell, I think I almost got the wall myself.
20th was Timmy Stubblefield. Shane Haas finishes 21st. And Keaton Burnett credited with 22nd.
Yeah, I came out there sideways.
Unfortunately for Keaton, did not take the green flag. I don't know if there was a connection issue there, but to expand a little bit further on Drew Prell's first lap issues, he did mention in the chat after the fact that he started the race without any force feedback in his steering wheel. So complete free play, didn't get to feel anything in the wheel, so may not have been able to catch that slide right off the bat because he couldn't feel it. And by the time you realize it visually, well, sometimes it's too late. So that very well could have been the case for the 80. Nonetheless, a good recovery for Drew. He comes back and has a solid finish here within the top 10. So that's
he's talking about Drew
Speedway. Congratulations to Brian McCann. Really, all the IROC guys finishing 1, 2, 3 here at Atlanta once again. Don't forget to tune in.
I don't know what lap that was on
Sunday, though. November the 5th. Ironically, I think it's my birthday. Well, in fact, I know it's my birthday. But we're going to be at Martinsville Speedway. Tune in for that. No candles, no cake, no nothing. We're just going to have a race about it. We'll see who parks it in victory lane, and we'll see if Brandon Mefford's prediction of a new winner comes true. The only way you guys are going to know is, well, show up to watch it. See what happens. So that's going to wrap it up for us here with HBR TV. Again, I'm Steve Singer, congratulating Brian McCann on the race win here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Make sure you guys tune in next week for Martinsville Speedway. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night.
I'm out myself. Good racing. Thank you. See you next time.